And you just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is. Throw me the money!
Good morning. Time to wake and rake and win together. All our friends are here. Now, you may say, it's week 18, Eric. Fantasy football season isn't over. And you would be right. No self-respecting fantasy league runs into the last week of the season. But, as our friend AK at the Millie Goats told us, we can still win $1 million on DraftKings. And I bet Ari has a ton of plays for us. And I bet Cricket does too. Genius. How you feeling? Your Steelers won yesterday. You got the Watt jersey on. What's Watt's status?
Not. It's up in the air. I thought that it looked more like he got his foot stepped on, but apparently it is. He got his knee banged into. I don't know. I feel like the way he walked off, it's something that he'll be able to bounce back for if we're in the playoffs.
Tough guy.
Yeah, I mean, and he is. You know, him and his brother, only two players to top 19 sacks in more than one season. So
crazy. There's something in the water out there in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Cricket, how's it going down there in Tennessee? You got some snow yet? I hear snow correlates with Derrick Henry games.
No, I think the low today is like 48 degrees or something, man. So it's not too bad down this way. It's pretty nice right now. I couldn't do it like y'all do it, man. That snow and stuff's for the birds. Y'all can keep that. How y'all doing this morning, man?
Outstanding.
I've been I'm getting my fucking all my like cool catch lines ready for the election. Just in case Trump misses the election, I'm pretty sure it'll be Haley. So if Haley comes in, Joe Biden's dropping out. Kamala's stepping up, and we're going to have our first estrogen election.
Ooh, I mean, girl on girl.
The fucking toughest double X chromosome to the White House. I'm getting ready for the. It's going to be a fucking match, and I'm going to.
Ballots are $5, but you're only going to need the edge.
That's it.
I'm telling you, man, for somebody that knows absolutely nothing about that shit, you at least make it exciting.
The less you know, the happier it'll be. Ari, how are you feeling about it?
That's how you live in bliss, Cricket. Let me just say.
Yep.
That is probably the correct way to live for 3 years and 9 months at a time. And in the last 3 months, be like, all right, who's running?
Yeah,
I like that guy. Click.
Here's the thing, man. I'm just pulling for all of us. I don't care who gets it. I just want them to be good at what they do, man. Just do your fucking job. That's all I want.
Stop taking our money and get out of our life.
Yeah, I'm pulling for all of us.
Like at the end of February, when you're like, "What's going on in this college basketball? I got to figure this out before March." Sort of like
exactly
that.
like that. It's more. I'm more focused on the college basketball. It's more like the NBA playoffs and shit. When I get to those, I'm like, I have no idea how much the game all year long. I just start trying to find the angles. It's more like that.
It's hard. It's hard doing multiple sports at once. I mean,
what you said.
Right now, my NFL ROI, I had a great night last night in the NFL, bringing my ROI to 39.8%, which is unheard of in handicapping for the NFL in Vegas, like ever. It's totally unheard of. I'm trying to hit that 40% ROI today. So let's have a good day. And in college basketball, though, my ROI has dropped a little bit. It's sitting at 20.4%. But I've tried to do some research with other handicappers, and it's still in the lead of Las Vegas. Everyone's around 16%.
20% is phenomenal. College basketball is fucking hard.
College basketball is
so
really
many games, and they go to so many different arenas, and they get it's hard to predict that.
College basketball is one of the toughest things to be consistent out there. Yeah. I really do. There's so many different factors going in, man.
I don't know. Have you ever tried to bet on soccer? God, that was miserable.
Well, okay, of all the things I'm actually brave enough to try to bet on, college basketball.
Steps does pretty good with soccer though, and so does Mr. Barnes.
Oh yeah, that's his jam, man. His Uncle Gordo, his brother. That's who knows the soccer, man. That man will be. He doesn't really mess with any other sports, but he'll be sitting telling you why they're running this set piece and all this different stuff in soccer. I'm like, if Uncle Gordo speaks about the pitch, man, you listen.
But genius,
Wow.
that's exactly what he said, right? Just what he said. He doesn't bet anything else. So it's hard. Like if you're a football guy, like an American football guy, and then you dabble in basketball, bringing soccer into the mix is that is so foreign. But then you
Oh,
got a
yeah.
guy like Uncle Gordo. That's all he does. Or you got guys like for PGA for golf. You got guys like Chris and Adam. That's all they do
Mhm.
all year. They just fucking love golf. So once you get the right brain trust together, you can bet it all. But trying to do it yourself, my God, I mean,
Oh, it's hard. I mean, I've tried to do it in TikTok, like on my TikTok, where I'm sometimes doing 3 different sports.
yes.
And I mean, ultimately, like I have to pay attention to my ROI because, sometimes my ROI just improves like dramatically when I just focus on one or just focus on 2 versus trying to add 3 or 4, because everything has to be analyzed differently and you need to approach everything with a different strategy. So, I mean, that's really important when you're learning how to handicap. You just have to have like different strategies for each thing because the same thing doesn't apply to every sport.
Right. And you simply can't put the time in that you need to give yourself a solid product in all of them. You just can't do that. You got somebody like me who's like focused on the football, all that, and then you take your NHL and you pick your goal scorers because you like their names, which has not been all that bad. It's not been all that bad, but it's not a proven system by any means. But yeah, I'll definitely be betting on those games today, and I don't know shit about them. That's where I got to get that discipline to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, we got all kinds of motivation levels, and some people are trying, some people need to win, some people don't care if they win, some teams are just trying to stay healthy. Ari, do you have a good idea of who's motivated to do what this week?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I do. I actually got into all of the games, break it down pretty well. I have a favorite. I have a biggest upset today, so this is going to be exciting.
Do you guys not get her
pressure on
emails?
early, thanking us for a good show?
Are you guys not on her email list?
I know what her favorite is.
I was going to say, because Schultz, she called that last night that he would, he only needed 4 more catches to get a roster or a payout bonus. So, and he hit, I think 6.
Yep.
One of the coolest. Somebody you talk about payout bonuses. Did y'all see Jadeveon Clowney get that sack to get him over his bonus or whatever yesterday in your game? That was a pretty cool moment, man. You can tell that guy was really hype out, and the crowd kind of started figuring out what's going on. They're cheering it and stuff. That's about as hype as I've seen Jadeveon Clowney in probably 5 years, man.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's nice to have one play create your make your day.
just $750,000 just in the bank account.
It was funny because when Schultz hit his, he was trying to get up, and there was a guy who had his leg over top of his head. So he got mad instead of happy that he just got $250,000 extra or whatever his bonus was.
Dude was riding him like a horse, man. I did see that play. I had to rewind it and show my girlfriend. It was pretty funny.
Ari, did you go through contracts and find player bonuses?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your prop betting?
I was looking at the different bonuses, and I want to talk about that a little bit more today.
I love that.
Each of the games. Absolutely. So I'll be pulling out some numbers so you can see how much money is tied to each thing.
Listen, I will just say that if it's any from the Denver Broncos, they obviously don't care about their players. Don't bet on them. But everybody else tries to get their roster bonuses for their players because they know that if their players are happy, they perform better.
Belichick will sit his fucking players during player performance games. He'll sit them, and he won't because he wants to save that money. And he doesn't want no fucks.
Well, maybe he won't care this year. He's probably gone out of there anyway.
Yeah.
Although in that game, I think the weather's supposed to be freaking horrible. I don't know that they're going to be doing too much of anything.
Dude, the total has gone down to 29.5 in that game.
Ooh.
Bet the under.
Chuck's on YouTube. He said you're right. The NCAA basketball is the best, especially this year. Good morning, all. Thanks in advance for a great show. Already giving us credit. That's because Ari's here. Better join the email. Ari smashed yesterday's game. I know she cleaned up as she was touting if 4 times bet on the Steelers under.
Yeah.
You watched that live too. I didn't even have to see your email. I'm already starting to know what your picks are, and now I try to like guess your picks the night before watching the lines. I'm like, now I'm kind of starting to understand where you're coming from.
Oh, cool! I love that. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm starting. Well, it's not where you're coming from. It's just math. It's
It
not.
is just
There's no
math.
emotion behind it. It's just this is where the number is, so this is where we put our money, and it's really that simple.
Yeah, I mean, I try to teach everyone through my email, and it's free if you just fill out the stay in touch box at arielcallista.com, as you can see here in the corner of the screen.
With a phenomenal dress this morning.
Thank you. That was a custom dress. One of my friends makes dresses, so I was walking in her fashion show. That was one of the looks, and she was also a former Cirque du Soleil performer. So it's been fun that I've been able to like get up there on stage with different Cirque du Soleil performers as they're doing what they do best, which is perform. And especially like during the pandemic when everything was shut down, I would go over there and model for her and be on stage with the Cirque du Soleil performers when they needed to perform for someone. You know, all the shows on the strip were closed.
You were basically if Vegas was a person. Essentially.
That's a compliment.
Thank you.
Yep. So every single football game this week or this fine Sunday is a divisional one. So everybody's familiar with everybody. I guess we'll start at the top of the list. Falcons and Saints. Falcons getting 3 points in New Orleans. The total is 42. I think the Saints could still sneak in if they win this game, right?
They both can.
The
winner of this game
Buccaneers
wins the division if the Bucks lose.
If the Bucks lose, which I did not feel good about my Bucks today on the road with those terrible Panthers. But yeah, this is the game, man. Kind of went back and forth. But you've seen the Falcons be so bad on the road this year, man. They got whipped last week up in Chicago up there. They keep going back and forth between Ritter and Heineke. If you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks, man. And I think I'm looking at the Saints they look really good at the Bucks last week, which kind of scares me for a letdown spot right here. But I feel like they're going to kind of keep the momentum rolling in this thing. The Falcons, like I said, with their struggles on the road right here, going to come in. Saints trying to get a big win for the last game of the year right there. Try to squeak in those playoffs. You know, if you lose, you're done. I think I'm leaning the Saints in this one. I'd like to hear y'all's opinion because I have kind of flipped back and forth on this one. But I think I'm going with the Saints and the home team right here.
Looking at the Falcons road games, they've only scored more than 20 on the road twice.
Yeah, that's garbage, man.
That's rough.
And neither one of those quarterbacks has looked just solid.
Chuck, are you an ex-football coach from the NFL? That'd be awesome.
I kind of feel like with this game, if Kamara plays, then the Saints have, a better chance. But Kamara is a game time decision. I like the Falcons. Hopefully they put it together. Not that it's going to matter. I think your Bucks take the division anyway. So
I hope you're right, brother.
Hey, Chuck used to coach for the Giants.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's one of my followers on TikTok and has DM'd me some information. And I'm like, cool. That's cool to know that like professionals in the NFL are following my handicapping.
That's really
Chuck,
cool.
Chuck, if you're on X or Twitter, I don't know what's cool to call it. I'm not even sure.
I call it Twitter.
We'll call it okay. That's PSR producer. PSR host guy is Eric. His is normally up there.
Decades ago,
get a hold of one of us. I'd love to have you on. Talk.
Is that like Coughlin decades ago or like Parcells decades ago?
Yeah, we'd love to have you on.
Either way, man, you've been on that squad, man. You've been with some legendary guys. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
If you email or DM Ari, there's her TikTok. I think that's the same as her Twitter too. Hit any of us up on Twitter and we'll get you on.
Or hit me up on my TikTok.
Or TikTok.
I'm mostly on TikTok.
We got faith in you, Chuck. We think you can find us, man. We get you in here, bro. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts.
In this game, I don't really see anything going anywhere. Honestly, Vegas isn't really making any moves, and there's a little bit of money on Atlanta. It's level 2 money, but at the same time, the spread's not going anywhere. It opened up at -3. It's sitting at -3. So Vegas isn't making any adjustments according to the money, and even the total has completely not moved since the open.
Hey,
But
all right,
I mean, they're both playing for their life here. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
they can both win the NFC South if the Bucks fail.
That's kind of what I want to ask you. Like, do you see more money coming in on these games that actually matter, actually have something going on, or do you see some of these guys trying to find an angle on these games where some of these guys are sitting out? Where do you think more money's coming in on, or does it matter?
I think the money doesn't always matter. Like it could be mixed money, it could be pro money, or it could be square money. And how Vegas reacts to it, that's really what matters. You want to know how the sports books are reacting, whether they're playing with the pros or whether they're taking a position against the squares. But sometimes in a percentage of the games, Vegas just doesn't react at all.
Right.
I mean, sometimes their lines are so tight. And when you really start getting into how they set the lines and how they come up with the totals and everything, I mean, I've been really like learning about this and kind of digging in deep to learn about like, you know, AWS and how that's interacting with sports and, you know, the kind of algorithms that they're actually running. And they're able to set these lines and totals so tight that I mean, you know, it's you know, sometimes it just is what the computer says it is.
They're pretty good at their job. It blows my mind how close they get these things.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're amazing at their job, and when you start really like learning about what they're doing like in the game with the sensors and like how they're picking up movements, I mean, they're literally like picking up data 60 times a second from the players and everything.
That's what's crazy to me. The end game, how you set the end game lines, how they're constantly moving. So I'm like, how can you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's these infrared light sensors. They're just picking up data, flashing 60 times a second. You don't even see it while it's happening. And I mean, that's how they're able to have such good numbers.
See, you can't convince me we didn't get that technology from the aliens. You just
No
can't
way.
convince me of that.
No way.
The
It's
ones in
future
Miami,
predicting
right?
technology.
That's right.
I'm hearing some infrared.
Like this AI it's basically built to predict accurately what the next character is or what your next purchase is going to be. So I think it's perfect for predicting sports, probably. You know, you're just looking at trends and statistics.
Worth a shot.
Yeah. Exactly. I would be willing to bet asking a robot to help would be an improvement in my process.
Certainly couldn't hurt some days.
No.
Hey, Chuck
We
used
got
to
it.
coach under, is that Ray Perkins? So that must have been
Kendrick
wasn't-
Perkins?
Ray Perkins would have been, I don't know, like right after I was born.
That's
Had to been
what
like
probably
late
a little-
70s, early 80s.
Yeah, it's got to be a little before my
78,
time.
79,
Yep.
84,
the
85.
The
something
fact
like
he's
that.
been in the NFL locker room is really cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
There's
That was
great
back
stories.
when coaches didn't look like TikTok fucking.
Oh, yeah, bro. Different world back then. They grab you by the face mask and stuff back then.
Yeah. Mike
But,
McDaniel.
that's when the
Would've had
coaches
issues.
Mike McDaniel. That's when coaches like wore at least a blazer on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Even my coaches, I'm not an old dude. I ain't a young man. I mean, I'm 36, but I'm still like, even my coaches, some of the stuff they did back then and when they get in your face like dip, spit flying everywhere and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
That was a different world, bro. You can't do that stuff today.
Hey, Patriot
Dude.
416.5 is going bananas in the Rumble chat. You guys.
Oh
see?
my God, he's got it going on.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Let's check up on
He's
him.
got a 14-1 parlay here. He says Chicago Giants and the Dolphins money line 14-1. It's a long shot. He has some teasers if we don't like that. Minnesota plus 10.5 and over 38.5. Jags plus 3.5 and under 48.5. San Francisco plus 3.5 and under 49.5. I mean, he's doing his own show over here.
Hey, that man's the real MVP right there. I'm telling
He
you.
is the MVP of the comment section for sure.
Yeah, he's got it.
He
Going
makes
on.
it in here before we do usually.
Yeah. Oh, he was in.
Wow.
He was in here early. Yeah.
Chris has got the technology to pull it
going
up.
on over there.
Look at this.
Minnesota plus 10.5 and over 30. I think we could wrap all the. Can we wrap all these up and tease them?
I bet you
You
could
could.
figure it out.
Yeah, those
We
are all
wrap
2
that
leg
up, do a-
teasers that you could
put-
turn
put
into a
nice
6
bow
leg.
on it. Hey, let me tell you something. If you are not subscribed right now to sportspicks.local.com, you are fucking missing out because I hung out Friday night and Mr. Barnes himself in his leather chair, 2 hours. First hour, broke everything down. Phenomenal analysis. Just fun to listen to. I sat here, played a poker tournament, and had him on the computer. And then for an hour and a half, he answered every fucking question.
Oh man, Uncle Bob is solid, bro.
From do you like mayonnaise on your stand? Like he'd answer anything. Like he will interact with you if you're over there.
Absolutely,
you go over
man.
there and you have full access. Cricket, that is phenomenal.
Well, and right now, man,
time.
You can sign up through the end of January. You can sign up using the promo code GameOn. Try it with a capital G or all caps.
It works with the capital G. I just did it.
With just the capital G, okay. But the word Game On, and make sure you clicked on the annual subscription. But you can get 40% off your annual subscription over a $200 value right now through the end of January. So go ahead and check that out, man. Sportspicks.locals.com.
Where we turn
the odds in your favor.
It's a big community, though. It's not just like
yes, it is.
It's not like you just go there and once a week they post some picks for you. That's not what it is. It's phenomenal.
Dare I would say it's a brain trust.
It is. Yeah. It is. And you can post your own stuff, your own picks, videos. We'll get back and interact with y'all. So you actually have the option to message Robert personally too. You can't do any law stuff. Don't do any of that. You got to go through the firm for that. But any sports betting stuff, you message him. Give him a day or two because he's busy. But he will get back to you and let you know what he thinks about it.
I mean, there's people in there that literally signed up and are ready to start learning how to gamble. They want to learn what website to use, all the way to guys putting down legit expert picks.
Yeah, we got all walks of life in that.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's if you're new, you're not going to feel intimidated. You're just going to feel educated.
No, in fact, he's got some good classes.
And you don't have to think you have to have like $10,000 to start your betting account, man. You can come in there for $100. We'll show you how to grow that thing, build it up. We use more of a day trading mentality with a volume-based system. Small investments, small returns. You're going to build something over time like that. But yeah, if you come over there and check us out, man, we'll grow that account for you.
Right on. Seamless. Now, more divisional ugliness. Cleveland Browns at the Bengals. Browns are getting 7.5 points, so they're sitting everybody. Total is 37. Browns got nothing to play for.
Doesn't look that way, man.
They're locked into the 5th seed.
Yeah, they ain't playing. I mean, it's gone all the way up to 8 over on DraftKings now. Total's still at 37 right there. But this is one clearly that, I think I'm just staying away altogether. I don't know what you could how you could find an edge here, an angle or anything, not knowing who's going to be on the field. I think everybody's just expecting those Browns backups to not show up, but I feel like a lot of those guys are trying to earn playoff roster spots and try to get a little bit more playing time in the games that matter right here. So I think a lot of those guys out there are going to be motivated for them. It's just that they have the talent to be able to stay up with starters in the NFL. With the Bengals, I mean, you got T. Higgins questionable. I just don't see the Bengals being all that motivated either. I know it's a division rivalry and you hate each other or whatever, but I don't know. To me, it's just hard to find either one of these teams real motivated in this game right here.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Copy link address. Will, I believe, is asking to get in here. That'll be a
get that crazy fool in here. He's up early.
Asking. That'll be a fun addition. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to talk some Patriots.
I'm sure.
So the Bengals should just cruise here. That's what the 7.5 suggests, right?
That's what they're saying, man. I don't know. What is there any money on this one, Ari? Anything? Do anything? I'm sure this one's dead.
See, this is an interesting game because neither team's really playing for anything. I mean, the Browns, they're a 5 seed, but the pro bettors, they're avoiding the Bengals, but Las Vegas, they love the Bengals. And I mean, it opened up at -3. It moved out to -5 on some money on the Browns, but it skipped past, -6,
yeah,
-6.5. Like these are big numbers that you look for when you're betting. And it went all the way up to -7.5. So Vegas is clearly saying that they love the Bengals in this situation. And let's not forget that the Browns have a quarterback who's been on a team for 5 days. 5 days.
That's true.
So, I mean, I haven't been able to find this prop in particular, but I know that Mixon, he has 8 rushing and 2 receiving touchdowns and scoring 10 times earns him an extra $250,000.
Ooh.
And if he could reach the end zone 2 times this weekend, he can add an extra $100,000 bonus. So Mixon's going to have a lot to play for today.
Wow, they are really not offering a ton of props this week, these crooked, cowardly books. 2 touchdowns for Mixon is plus 350. Damn. Bastards. Why do they ruin our fun all the time? 2 touchdowns. That should be a 5-1 proposition, even for Joe Mixon. Chuck says, plays on the Bengals. I like it. I'm afraid of games like this where I don't know who cares and who doesn't.
I like the Bengals. This is my favorite. This is actually my favorite bet of the day is the Bengals in this position. And I mean, and it's also leaning under a little bit too, but I'm going to pass on the under. I like the Bengals.
Yeah, the fact that they blew right through to 7.5 tells you that they probably know.
Yeah, and you typically look for it to hit the 6 mark, the 6.5 mark, but
yeah,
it
just
went
to see
right
if they get some action at that point.
Yeah, it went right to 7.5. So that's a big deal, especially like in the Las Vegas sports books, because the 6 numbers are very big.
Will, top of the morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys talking about this game? And I have a buddy that's a huge, like a lifelong Bengals fan, and they say that they hate Cleveland. So you talk about what do they have to play for in this game? It's like a one-way rivalry. The Bengals hate Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't really care about it, but the Bengals really hate them. And I like the Bengals. I'm looking at this from my contest perspective. I see all this money piling in, the line moving past 7. So in my contest, the lines are stale, and it's Bengals -6. And I'm like, how do I not play that when it's currently 7.5? You know, like I'm just looking at this. I'm like, how do I not play the Bengals here? Especially when you got Jeff Driscoll, who cricket didn't even know was even in the league. Yesterday.
I didn't know that guy was still in the league. I really didn't. I've heard a couple quarterbacks this week that I had no idea were still playing football.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're about to have our 78th quarterback take a snap this season.
And 50 of them have, at least 50 of them have been garbage.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't know. At the 7.5, I don't know if I'd play it there. Probably. I don't see when Stefanski came out and said, "Hey, we're sitting everyone." It's like, okay, and I think that's why you started seeing the line just start moving, and then when you're looking for a motivational edge, the fact that the Bengals, if this is true, which I have no reason to disbelieve, this guy who's been a lifelong Bengals fan just saying that city just hates Cleveland. I go, okay, well, that makes sense.
I live in the Cincinnati area. I'm a Steelers fan. Obviously, I grew up in Philadelphia, but everybody here hates the Browns. It's like a cross-state rivalry kind of thing. So,
and is it one way? The Browns don't really care?
I don't know.
Right?
I've not been up to Cleveland. Me personally, as a Steelers fan, I hate the Ravens the most. They were the original Browns. And then I hate the Browns because they decided to become the Browns. But, you know, the Bengals are the one team in the division I can kind of tolerate, which I have to because the fiance is a Bengals fan. So.
Okay.
So wait a minute. You were born in Philly, a Steelers fan born in Philly that now lives in Cincinnati?
Yes.
That's been rough, huh?
Well, my stepdad was an Eagles fan, and I didn't like him when growing up. So I said, screw it. My mom tried to get me to be a Bills fan because the first game she ever watched was the greatest comeback game. Okay. So she tried to get me to be a Bills fan, and I was like, you know what? I think I was 7, and I went to the local library and I read the history on all the teams.
Yes,
just a little booklet, and Lynn Swann stuck out to me, so I became a Steelers fan at 7.
Lynn Swann and Art Monk, those books are why I was a fan of those guys as a little kid.
I started that you could pick worse people than Lynn Swann to be the reason you became a fan, man. That's good stuff.
When I was a little kid, we had fucking white T-shirts we wore as jerseys when we played like football out at the park, and I was Art Monk always.
That a baby.
Yep. Back in those like late 90s Maddens, Art Monk on the throwbacks teams was the best wide receiver available on the game.
Yeah, untouchable, man.
All right, we're getting way off track. Let's talk about a game that.
Have you guys talked about the Cowboys?
I was like, you motherfuckers are old.
She's like, what are you talking about? The 1900s right now? Did you make your own butter?
Did
What
they
is-
wear
what are we
face
doing?
masks?
She doesn't even know about the AV cable. Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. This is a good one. Jags -4. Multiple people possibly injured. Trevor Lawrence gonna play. Titans getting 4 at home. That's right where we like them, right, Cricket? Getting points at home in the
I
winter.
think so, man. In that spot, I mean, I've loved these spots this year. Trevor Lawrence. So we have got the confirmation he is going to play, but I mean, if he does, how healthy is he? You know, they obviously was a reason he couldn't go out there last week, and that was a must-win situation for him too. So there was obviously a reason he couldn't go last week, and I think the Titans are just going to try to shorten this thing up some. Feed Derrick Henry. That's what they've done at home this year, and I just feel like that's what they're going to try to do today. And I think with the
Did we
banged up
both
Trevor
click it at
Lawrence-
the same
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, maybe not too. I'm a little bit older than that, man. I'm a little bit older than her, so at least I know a little bit about the '90s, man, just a little bit. So, but yeah, I think I like the
I was
Titans.
born in the last 2 years of the 90s.
That's fair. So you made a little bit of it. You made a little bit of it. You don't even really know about Y2K then. See, I was old enough to
A
remember
little
Y2K
bit.
at least. I remember the
Well,
craziness.
I remember like Jersey Shore being on television.
I had my first daughter in 1999.
I remember Jersey Shore.
Okay, so she's like my age.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cali Rose. Yep.
Cool.
So you could be her dad, Chris. Wow.
Probably doing the exact same thing you're doing right now, but she's at home
Yeah.
watching
Watching the show?
whatever.
Yep.
Oh,
She's got her own Whalers box, no doubt.
yes.
We got any? We got any money on this one coming in? I don't know. I feel like this is a game I could see some money coming in on. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I have to abstain from this game. This game and the Bills game, I'm trying to have no opinion on because I'm biased. I need one of them to lose for the Steelers to get in. So I'm just avoiding the hell out of them because I know I'm going to be like, let's go Titans, let's go Dolphins.
You totally be betting with your heart on this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, there's a little bit of money on Tennessee. I mean, but to me, it's looking like Joe money because Vegas is leaning towards the Jags. So it is level 3 money, which is pretty significant because I have a 1 to 5 grading scale and 5 is the most amount of money. So it is level 3. It is significant, but I'm going to pass on this game personally, and I'm passing on a total.
Now, after the Colts loss last night, 24-19, thanks a lot. Both teams over 20 misses once again. If the Jags win, they win the division, right? Or if the Jags lose, the Texans get it.
Texans get the division, yep.
What do you think on this one, Will? How are you feeling about this one, man?
Early on, I like the Titans just because of Vrabel at home, but I feel like we've been saying that like a lot this season. I feel like they should run Derrick Henry, but will they? Because we've said that I don't know how many times this season. The fact that Lawrence is playing doesn't make me like it because I feel like it doesn't matter how healthy he is out there. If he's out there, he's playing, and we've seen him even on a bum ankle just do things and just kind of will his way through it. I would rather spend my money elsewhere, like DeAndre Hopkins 2 touchdowns, even though the books are screwing you where it should be 14-1 and it's 9-1, but still he gets those 2 touchdowns. He gets a bonus. He has a chance to make $750,000 today. He needs like 7 catches.
It's more than that. Hopkins needs 49 yards to earn a $1 million bonus.
Ooh,
and then
1
7
million?
catches to cash in another $250,000 bonus.
Okay.
See,
there's reports everywhere of like
1.25.
what I saw was they were all of them were
1.25.
because if he got 2 more touchdowns, I also heard he gets 250,000 more as well.
So what you guys are saying is put D-Hop in your DFS lineup. I got you.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it. It's
gonna be a
worth
big day for D-Hop. I understand.
Because I mean, they like if you talk about a team that's got nothing to play for, it's like why not just try to feed that guy? And look what Tannehill did. Does Tannehill getting the go today? Because if it's him, I really like it because he fed D-Hop 7 targets yesterday or last week. So it's like,
yep.
I heard some Malik Willis rumblings though.
I heard that on Establish the Run, they might start Malik Willis, but that's the only place I heard that. I'm going to look more.
You telling me in Tennessee that they're not doing nothing? That owner didn't call down and say, "Hey, D-Hop, he don't get the ball today." Fuck that.
Yep. Is this Derrick Henry's last game in a
You telling me the players never say "f you" to the ownership?
That's true.
I mean,
too.
yeah, they could.
Vrabel might.
'Cause, I mean, Vrabel's already
talking
talked about he might be leaving anyway. So what does he care?
Diop's gonna have 15 catches a day for 300 yards and 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
Again, I really
Go
think
ahead
it
and hit
depends
that
on the
over right now.
organization. A lot of these organizations, you could see that they want their players to be happy. They strive to try to get their players these bonuses. Other ones, it's just like Denver. Like I said, they just said, "Screw it, we're not paying Russell Wilson." So,
You know what would be a juicy parlay, Eric? That would be right up your alley. You bet D-Hop 2 touchdowns, but Jags to win. Little anti-correlated there.
A little anti-correlation there. Yeah,
You could just see garbage time, right? Jags take care of business, but garbage time, you just try to get D-Hop that second touchdown.
Oh man, I got to tell y'all another bad beat. I know y'all saw the likely one yesterday, but I had one yesterday where I did when I alt line on the under 31.5 in that Steelers game, but I had Najee 2+ touchdowns. It was plus 12,000. The likely one was only plus 10,000, and they're right down there at the end. I'm like, just get in the end zone, Najee. And he's like falling down in the backfield and everything. They were going backwards when they got inside the 10-yard line there. And I was like, please just punch this thing in, man.
How about our boy Beardo calling it? He says Huntley's gonna throw a touchdown pass, right? Like he's looking, he's like, it's at a half. He goes, he's gonna throw a touchdown, right? And he's like, it's gonna be the likely.
And how do you just all over it, man? He doesn't even like
I bet him both. So I got the Huntley over at like minus 150 and then likely at plus likely was plus 450.
450. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually went up to plus 500 in game. And how do you give up a 71-yard touchdown pass in a monsoon on 3rd and 4?
that was a gorgeous pass. I loved that pass.
Well, if the safety would just open his eyes, I don't know what he was even. I guess he was just totally expecting nobody to throw the ball downfield.
Pickens is averaging over 30 yards of reception with Mason Rudolph. I'm only seeing Malik Willis slander on Twitter. I'm not seeing anything. It's just people making fun of him.
Surely they wouldn't do that unless they just absolutely had to.
Chris, the number one trending thing on Twitter right now is Dementia Hitler. I can have one guess who they're referring to.
Eric, for the touchdowns today for D-Hop and Mixon, what would that be together for them both to get to?
Ooh, that's a great. That's great. I'm gonna calculate that right now.
See, this is where I get in trouble. Y'all get me on here and give me all these different ideas for all these parlays, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I could win $8,000 today, and I'm usually down 40 when it's all said and done. But
wow, Hopkins 2 touchdowns is plus 800, so that's gonna
they brought it down. Those bastards. Those
dirty. That sounds like a lock.
They know.
I feel like
they know.
They've been watching the Sports Morning Espresso Shop, man. They better put that line based on us.
Man, 350, so that would put you at about 44-1 for 2 Hopkins and 2 Mixon touchdowns.
Well, just like Ariel said earlier, they know what they're doing out there. They know about these contract incentives as well. So
yeah, you can't really take advantage of it anymore.
A Jacksonville win and 2 D-Hop touchdowns for $5 will get you 110.
Ooh.
You want to know my favorite prop today? It's the first touchdown scorer. It's a little risky.
They all are, aren't they? Aren't all risky?
Let's go. Let's go.
AJ Brown, first touchdown.
You have been saying that.
I think they feed him. Guy didn't talk to the media the last 2 weeks after the last 2 games, and he had to come out midweek and explain. I hate when you see these wide receivers have to come out and say, "Hey, everything's good between me and the team," and blah 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 blah. Even though you haven't been getting targets and you look like you're pouting on. And what do they always do? They always come out. And I the reason why I don't say a touchdown and I say first touchdown, I don't think the Eagles. Cricket and I disagree on this, but I don't think the Eagles are going to play more than a half, if that. They might not even play a quarter. So I'm like, I could see the Eagles come out and if they have an opening drive that's really good, which they could against this Giants defense, and they just feed AJ Brown and he gets in the end zone, they might just wrap it up there and say, well, that was good. We're going to enter the playoffs on a high note of like our offense looked really good right there. And then you got AJ Brown he's happy. Everyone's happy.
I don't know. I think the Eagles are definitely going to have somebody tuning into the Cowboys game. Like if the Commanders are keeping it tight with the Cowboys, I think the Eagles will still play. If they're up 21-0, 28-0 at the half, then they'll sit their players.
That's exactly what I think too. Cricket says that he thinks that they're not going to play at all. They're not going to tune into the game. Why would they want to do that? That's not being a competitor.
I think you start getting in some real sketchy waters when you start doing that. Just play the game, man. You're professionals. Just play the game. Go out there. I wouldn't even look at that thing. Because
Not
I mean,
on
I'm
that
sorry,
field
but
where
the
everyone
Eagles
gets
need to get
injured.
right game. They don't deserve any time off.
Unfortunately, back in the day, I would agree entirely. You know, like you didn't have people, for example, in college sitting out. You had everybody played the bowl game. Period. End of story. Now you have all these people sitting out, and the NFL is the same way when it comes to the playoffs. If you're in, they sit you. Hurts is already a little banged up. If they come into that, you know, if they see that Dallas is smoking the Commanders and they can't move anywhere in the standings, sit them.
Yeah.
Why risk them?
That's my favorite correlated parlay that the books haven't like calculated as being correlated is you take Dallas -7 or 7.5, whatever it's at in the first half, and then you take Giants +5 or 5.5 for the game or whatever it's at now. Even maybe Giants money line if you want to sprinkle a little bit on that, because the idea is if Dallas is blowing Washington out at halftime, the Eagles are definitely just sitting everyone second half. And so the likelihood of Dallas
like 38-10 earlier this season too, Dallas and Washington.
Yeah, but there's
down in Dallas.
that was in
down.
Yeah, the
Dallas
thing
is way
that
better
make me a little bit nervous is Dallas's defense is so much faster at home than playing on actual grass, and they're actually giving up 14 more points a game. Their defense is when they play on grass. So,
Wow,
we'll see.
I mean, you know, I don't think Dallas is going to blow the Commanders out. I don't know if the Eagles will ever have an opportunity to be able to even look at the score and be like, okay, we're going to call the dogs off now. Because, I mean, obviously playing at the same time, that's why they do all this stuff. But it just doesn't feel like a spot for me where, I mean, Dallas got a lot of pressure on them too. You got the Commanders, I know they have nothing to play for, but some of those guys may be playing for, you know, future contracts, all the different things. You're going to have some guys out there, and it's a division game, a division rivalry game where you hate each other. So it just feels to me like a spot where I think 13's too many in that Commander. I'm going to take the Commanders today too. So I don't know if the Cowboys ever get in the spot where they can let the Eagles take their foot off the gas. And the Eagles have looked so bad, man. I don't know that you want to rest, really. You kind of want to start trying to find some rhythm. What better team to do that against than the Giants? Because right now, the way you've looked in the last 5 games, it's been real bad. You're going to have to go on the road most likely. And it's like, I think you still got to try to find a get-right game. This may be it, but you got to find a spot. I don't think any of those guys deserve time to sit out.
Yeah, you gotta weigh that whole rust versus momentum thing. But yeah, I don't think the Eagles are in a position to relax too much. Scoreboard watching, dangerous way to live.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to risk though, like Lane Johnson out there on that field that has been known to give a lot of injuries to teams. If there's anyone you rest that guy.
Yeah,
they should add some incentive to these games or something, man. Like if the team, the underdog wins, they get like the other team's draft pick or something too. Add some incentive. Make them play. I want to see them play. You're making too much money. You shouldn't ever be allowed to sit out if you're healthy.
The spoiler clause.
Yeah, I like the Giants today too. I think this is going to be a huge upset.
Let's go.
Plus, it's also leaning under because this is going to be such a rainy, windy kind of day. And also Slayton on the Giants has a huge incentive to get one catch because he'll get a $2.5 million bonus.
Oh,
whoa.
I'm in the wrong business.
What you said? Dang.
Yeah, Slayton needs one catch to get a $2.5 million bonus.
Listen, he's game time decision. They're not even going to play him.
I mean, plus I like two extra props in this game. I like Tyrod Taylor over half an interception and Slayton over 43.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
But it definitely seems like there's a lean towards the Giants here. And I mean, this is going on Eagles money. But I mean, just the way that the Giants opened up at +7, and now it's already moved to +4.5. So Vegas is agreeing. They're starting to lean towards the Giants as well, even though a bunch of the money is on the Eagles. So that's square money. So, but really, the under also seems like a great play. The squares are pushing it over with level 2 money, but Vegas moved it from 45 to 42, and I think it's still sitting at 42. It was last time I checked.
Showing 40.
I got 43 here.
Yeah, I'm looking at 43 too.
Yeah, still down.
Too.
So yeah, get 43 while you can because the under is also a great play here. And wind is a huge factor. Rain, that's a huge factor. I saw in the comments, Chuck said that rain plus wind equals a lot of injuries, and like you said, they could be sitting out like their top players because they just don't want them to get injured.
The +4.5 meant just went from +105 to -105 while you were talking.
Is it going to be
clearly?
Is it going to be super rainy in Washington too?
If it is,
I think
for these
so.
East Coast games,
Isn't all that around the same area? You know, I
You
don't
would
know a lot about
think.
the Northeast,
I
but
know it's
I
like
feel
a it's a snowstorm right over Foxborough. I know that.
if it looks anything like that weather that came through in the Steelers Ravens game yesterday. I mean, that was awful. It was like driving in sheets at one
It
point.
was
like
awful.
That was very upsetting because I was hoping to see the offense of the Steelers the way they've been the last couple of weeks and see how they do against, even though it was mostly backups, still the Ravens defense and that defensive scheme. But we couldn't see that because of the weather.
Well,
How's the weather there in Cincy?
Rainy.
Like terrible rain or just average?
No, it's barely sprinkling. It's been on and off. We had a little bit of snow yesterday, like overnight, for like about an inch, and then that was it. That was all gone by the afternoon. It was all melted.
Hey, Genius, I got a question for you, man. I think I already know the answer, but let's say you guys do squeak in these playoffs. Kenny Pickett looks like he's getting healthy. You got to stay with Mason Rudolph, right?
They stayed with Mason Rudolph yesterday, and Kenny Pickett was healthy. He was eligible to play. So
that's got to be the guy, right?
That unfortunately, we like everybody's saying we have a quarterback controversy for next year. I was like, we have quarterback controversy for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you you got to be that upset about it though. That offense has looked much better with Mason Rudolph. I mean, I can't really put much into yesterday because I don't think anybody can throw the football in that shit. But I think Mason Rudolph has made that offense click a lot better since he's been in there.
Najee looks better. Pickens looks better.
The funny thing is, when Trubisky first came in for Pickett because of the injury, everybody said this exact same thing. What if Trubisky gets them to the playoffs and then Pickett's healthy? How do you sit Trubisky? Of course, it ended up happening with Mason Rudolph instead of Trubisky, but
nobody was even thinking about poor Mason back there. He just comes out dropping dimes, man.
Yep. Your Patriots in this snowstorm, Will, are laying 2.5 to the New York Jets.
I know. I'm looking at this.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be on the sideline with this.
So, boys, I went 2-0 yesterday. So I'm in that one contest in Bet Online's contest, right?
You did go 2-0?
I went 2-0 yesterday. Yeah. I'm up in 6th place now. I'm a half a point out of 4th place. I got 3 picks left. And I'm thinking about taking the 2.5 with the Jets. I really am. This game is going to be ugly. It's going to be. I just don't. Everyone loves my Patriots today, and I just don't see it. I don't. In a game that's a coin flip. See, there we go. I like that. That's coming from a Steelers fan, though. So I mean, I take that with a grain of salt.
I've never seen an NFL total in the 20s. I don't think it's down to 29 now. It already went another half point since we've been on.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen. Like, if the Jets, you're going to give me 2.5, and if the Jets somehow fumble their way into a touchdown, you know what I mean? Like some fluky thing. It could go both ways, though. It
could totally be a 2-point win. Somebody winning by a safety.
Yeah,
could be 2-0.
I don't know. What's your guys?
God, gross.
What's your guys' favorite play today? Because I was sitting here going back and forth on this contest. There's stale lines, right? So this is stale, and I'm like, I kind of know where some of these sharps are going to go, and I kind of want to take the opposite side. So, like, for example, you can get if the sharps liked Tennessee, it's 5.5 in the contest, whereas it's 3.5, 4 everywhere else in the book. So you would kind of think people might be going towards taking the Titans, and so it would be contrarian to take the Jags there.
If you're getting,
I've been going back and forth, but I think I'm just going to go with what my favorite picks are and just see what happens. But Eric? What's your favorite play today?
I think it's these motivated Raiders at home with the Broncos coming in. They want to win this game. They want Antonio Pierce to be the coach, or at least all the best players on the team do.
Yeah.
So I think they give absolutely 110% today.
This is the thing that I keep hearing everyone say that. And so my pushback to that is you guys act like Denver's not motivated. You got Sean Payton, who has an ego bigger than most of the people in the league, right? And now he's kicked Russell Wilson to the curb. He wanted Stidham as his quarterback this season. That's the reason why they went and got him as a backup. And now he's 1-0 with Stidham. He has a chance to go 2-0, finish the season 9-8, winning season. Say, hey, look at how what do they start? 1-5 or something like that? Something terrible. Look, after this terrible start, we turned it around. And then when we bench Russ, I was trying to tell you guys all season long it was Russ, not me. And here we go. When I get my guy in there, we win 2 games in a row, and we finished second in the division.
And the Broncos
Not
have
to
not
mention-
beaten the Raiders since the
Yeah.
Raiders moved to Las Vegas.
This is true.
Not to
This is
mention
true.
Stidham. You know, he's that's a wide open job now in Denver.
It is, and he's got
that
one
as
more
well.
year on that. He's got one more year on that contract in Denver. They're gonna keep him as a backup at minimum, but he might even get a starting role next year.
Well, yeah. Listen, and you know they don't have a great draft pick next year. Maybe pick somebody up in a later round to back him up. Throw in Stidham as a starter. See what you got for a full year with him. If he tanks, if they suck, then you have a great draft pick the next year. And if he's good, then you have him cheap as hell for this year.
And let's be honest, Pierce has the job. You know what I mean? Like Pierce
Sure.
has the job because the players want him. They've already been playing hard for him, right? Like the players have come out, and that's why they're coming out and saying all this stuff. This, whether he wins or loses this meaningless game, isn't going to be a difference breaker. And also remember, the Raiders are poor, right? They're poor, so they're going to be like, hey, we can get Pierce on the cheap compared to some of these other coaches. So why not sign him to a contract here? The players want him. Will go into next season. And guys, also got to remember this: a minority owner in this organization is Tom Brady. You don't think he's gone over to Davis and said, hey, listen, it's a cute story. Let's lose this game, though, because then we get in the top 10 draft pick. All right, you win this game, we're like 15, 16. That's pointless. Let's lose this game. Broncos will be behind us in the draft. We'll be like 9, 10. That's a good spot. We can even maybe make some moves right there, huh?
Yeah, I got a little capital.
I
to
doubt
spend
he
right
likes
there.
Antonio Pierce. Now that I think about it,
Maybe he
One
goes
on
to
that
Antonio Pierce and says,
Super Bowl
hey,
team.
listen, you've got the job. All right, we're not announcing it. You've got the job. Let's just go ahead and lose this one, okay? Let's lose this game for us. All right, buddy? Thanks.
And Mark Davis smoking a bunch of
He'd
cigars.
run
while
to the
players, you know
NFLPA.
he's listening.
Hey, over on Rumble, the chat's
it's
always
like Flores.
awesome, we got Chuck said the top 2 contest plays in Vegas today are the Bengals and the Raiders.
Ooh.
Oh,
You
yeah.
like that,
Don't
Will?
Away
make
from
those.
the Bengals.
The coach is up for a job in Vegas too.
Well, I think if you're getting the Bengals at under 7 right there, I think that's solid. I think if you're getting the Panthers at plus 5.5 too. I mean, even at the Bucks, you know how I feel about that Bucks game. I'm scared of it, but I think if the Bucks win that thing, I think it's by a field goal or less, man. I think if you're getting 5.5 with the Panthers, that's big time.
I know I am getting 5. You know what's weird is, and it doesn't make that much sense because it's not really, it's 2 points, but it's not that significant of 2 points. But like, I like the Bucks at minus 3.5, but I like the Panthers at plus 5.5. But I don't feel great about either way. You know what I mean?
And we know none of those games are going to land on 4.
You're not. 2% chance.
All right, have you gave out your good stuff yet?
Yeah. Like, I think that the Bengals are a play today. I think in this Broncos versus Raiders game, I mean, Vegas seems to be leaning towards the Raiders, even though there's a lot of money on the Broncos. But I mean, I really think that the coach, Sean Payton, he's just kind of lost the locker room, and I just think that the Raiders are going to perform better than people expect them to today. But I'm passing on a total, even though there's a lot of strong money on the under. The total just hasn't really moved. But yeah, it seems like Vegas is leaning towards the Raiders today.
We got Vikings and
Hey,
Lions.
as Packer fans up there, I know you guys own the Bears, but how do you feel about this game today? Do you think the Bears have a chance covering that 3?
I don't think they do. I think Jordan Love is a bear killer, just like the last 2 before him. And
Let me ask you this,
Justin
Will.
Fields has
Real
probably
quick.
got
Here we go. This is what I was
too
waiting
much
for.
to play.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Come on with it.
Will, if Aaron Rodgers was starting today, are you still asking the same goddamn question?
No, because I'm getting 8 points with the Bears.
Exactly. So now tell me, Eric, who's a better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
Well,
Well, I
judging
think we
by
know
their
the answer
first
to that right
16
now.
starts, Jordan Love won 2 more games. More touchdowns, fewer turnovers. So
I
he's
think- I
arguably
think-
the
I think-
better.
Chris
quarterback.
totally thought you were going to prove his point right there, and you said that, and he was like, "Oh shit, damn, my bad."
No, he did. He proved my point. He just didn't do
That's
it with
what I'm
any
saying.
enthusiasm. He did
So
it with
y'all
a
love the
slap mouth
Packers, right?
voice. You got to do it with enthusiasm, Eric.
Yeah.
Tell
he
them
has,
why Jordan Love's better.
Here's
Well,
a better
everybody's
question. Here's a
sleeping.
better
He's
question,
got-
Chris. Here's a better question. How pissed would you be today if the Packers lost straight up to the Bears?
Pretty pissed. pretty pissed just because of how good they would think they are at that point. And we'd have to hear about it
to even talk
all
about.
summer.
There's no reason to talk
Listen,
I mean, Love
I
is
think we know
getting
which way to
a
go, Cricket.
Love is getting a $500,000 bonus if Green Bay makes the playoffs. So they have extra motivation to play today, whereas the Bears, like, they don't really have motivation.
Well,
versus
they're
Yeah, but that
Green
hurts.
Bay.
That hurts salary cap
Fields
next
has all the
season.
motivation.
Justin Fields might be playing for another contract. There ain't no more
Yeah,
motivation than that.
That's the only thing
I do
worry
like
about.
Justin Fields over 26.5 passing attempts today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my only worry for the Pack. I do have the Packers covering the 3, but my main worry for them is that Fields has everything to play for. He could just go and ball out. And like I've been saying that for weeks, he's in the best situation in the NFL because he's not hurting his team by winning. It's not.
What are you guys doing at
Carolina just
325?
picked.
What are you guys doing at 325 today? You guys should tune in to the Green Bay Bears game. They're playing in Titletown. You're about to understand why they call it that.
Listen,
So
I
you
think
guys-
I'm
let me
at a 1-year-old's birthday party at that time, unfortunately, but I already warned everybody there that I will be in a corner watching a game on my phone.
We'll watch Titletown, baby, because we'll
So-
show you what we do.
Let me get this straight. Both the Packers fans love the Packers today, right? All right. It's been a pretty solid system for me. I usually take them when y'all hate them, go against them when y'all love them. So I'm on the Bears in that one. I have no choice. I got to set it and forget it.
That's true. Every time they've shown any confidence in their team, it's not gone the way they
It's
want.
been a bad day for them.
Now, is
Not
there a
today.
way you guys still get in if you lose?
Yeah, they win and they're in.
Right,
Oh, if
but
they
if
lose,
they
no,
lose,
I don't
No.
think
I think we lose. We still have some help that could happen.
right. I think
Detroit
you
we have a
lose, Seattle
63%
and Minnesota
chance.
to also lose, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't know. There's so many different scenarios. I usually like to check that when the smoke clears.
Yeah,
I think those
I
are the
assume a
only teams
63%
left in it.
chance allows for a loss.
Okay. Yeah, you would think
know.
so.
I know
Unless
my
it's-
future's still alive for Super Bowl champions, NFC champion. So let's go. Let's go.
I know my futures bets are shrinking rapidly
Yeah.
at this point, man.
I need either the Dolphins to win today, or if the Bills win, I also need the Buccaneers to win, because instead of just hedging like a normal person, I hedged my Dolphins with Buccaneers Bills parlay.
You know
I
what
love
sucks? I felt really good about. I got a ticket like halfway through the season. I think it was like 18-1 on the Lions to win the Super Bowl, and then a couple weeks ago I got Rams 40-1 to win the NFC just to get to the Super Bowl. And they're looking like they're going to play each other in the first round. And I'm like, God, one of those is going to lose right off the rip.
Hey, at least you know you're alive in week 2, man.
Yes.
That's true.
Watch them
Yeah,
tie.
Rams are a dangerous playoff team. They have all the experience and they're crazy healthy.
I got a couple
Mhm.
nice tickets on them. I
Hey,
hope they
Eric,
put
you
it
got
together.
this. I got to get out of here. I got to head out to Minneapolis.
All right, you drive careful.
Yeah,
Be
be
good,
safe,
guys.
sir.
Safe
Good luck
Good to see
today, man.
everybody. Ari, have a good week. Good
Thanks.
to see you.
Have a
See
good
you
Later,
trip.
Chris.
Later.
Oh boy, I gotta find the outro music now, you guys. We'll figure it out. All right,
That's Cricket. He's a pro at this now.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Commanders, Commodores. Cowboys minus 13, minus 900 on the money line. Total is 46.5. I don't know. They just won a game that maybe they feel like they shouldn't win. Are they going to come out? I'm worried. I'm wondering how the Lions and the Cowboys are going to come out this week after that game last week. It was so weird.
Dan Campbell's still so pissed off. He said he's playing all his starters. He's still mad about it, man. Yelling and stuff. So, I mean, I don't blame
You know
him.
what?
I'd be pissed off, too. I don't blame him. He had a right to be mad about it. But I can't understand for the life of me why the Lions would play anybody that mattered today. If I'm the owner, I'm coming down and be like, hey, you can't do this, man. Because you
Hey,
get one of those guys
buddy.
out there, one of the big dogs or the biggest dog in Jared Goff. I think it's probably the only guy they can't recover from losing right there. Because they got, Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery. You got enough guys on the outside that you can throw the ball to. But if Jared Goff was to get hurt in this thing, oh, no, you're in trouble, man.
The reason they're playing all their guys is because if they win, they get to play the Packers at home as opposed to playing that Fire Rams team or, possibly the Eagles. I'd rather play the Eagles right
I
now.
thought they were locked in.
But no, they can get up to the number 2 seed. If Dallas loses,
If Dallas loses, okay.
right. If
Okay.
Dallas loses, I think Philadelphia might have to lose as well.
That's what I think it is. I think one of them would wind up winning the division. They would have identical records or something. And
Yeah.
I feel like they both have to lose if the Lions and the Lions also have to win. Yeah. That's just weird to me, though, man. I feel like the likelihood of that happening against those two teams they're playing is so low that it's almost like just gear up and get your guys ready to play the Rams. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
That's also going to be my favorite game of the first round if that happens, the Rams at the Lions.
Which one you liking that?
I have no clue.
Okay.
The Rams look so good right now. And the Lions,
double quarterback revenge game.
Yeah, bro. So many layers.
Yeah, they swapped quarterbacks. God.
And they say the NFL's not scripted.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta wonder. Craig's here. Morning. Glad I won 7 straight weeks. Well, no big deal.
They need them both to lose. They need the Commanders to beat Dallas and the Giants to beat Philly to get the number 2 seed.
Yeah, see, that's playoff trigonometry.
I started saying, man, playoff calculus. You're right.
I'll check in at like 2:30 p.m. and see where we're at. I'll let Scott Hansen describe it to me. Now, here's what Scott Hansen sometimes a little too enthusiastic.
A little too much.
I've been doing it all week, just playing with it and calculating it. There was one that ESPN didn't even mention on their thing, and I was like, this could still happen. If before the games yesterday, if the Steelers, Jags, and Bills all lost and the Titans and Colts tied, the Titans and Colts both would have been in the playoffs.
That's my favorite when they start mixing the ties in there and the possibilities. I'm like, yes.
I was super proud. I read in the other room and told Dean, I said, I found the scenario that ESPN hasn't mentioned, and she was like, "You're stupid."
I'm just saying I'm better than the worldwide leader in sports.
Yeah, exactly. That means you should be making all that money just like them.
I agree. We should start something here. Funnel it up to the ESPN and be like, "Hey, this guy did something you guys couldn't do."
I'm not saying we're better than all of them, but I'm saying I see a lot of them that are garbage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who even is the Lions' backup quarterback?
Teddy Bridgewater, baby.
Teddy Two Gloves, baby. They're going to give him a chance. He says he's retiring after this season, so he's
really.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Unless God forbid if Goff got hurt in the playoffs, something like that. But Teddy Bridgewater after today probably not getting another meaningful snap.
No,
I feel like though. I mean, I don't know. If I was them and I was going to stick Goff, I'd put in Hooker and see what he's going to do.
I don't think they want to. They're not going to play him at all this year. With that, they're going to give him that full year to get the ACL taken care of and all that stuff. Because it was late in the season last year.
It was, yeah.
When he tore that thing. So I think they're just looking at letting him cruise to the offseason. We're going to give you the whole, basically 2 years, almost year and a half, 18 months to get that thing healed up. And so, I wouldn't hate that angle, but right there at this point, I think I just let him rest.
Okay, maybe it's not the Lions. Maybe it's just I want to see what underhanded Hooker.
I'm excited about that too, man. I really am excited about that because that guy's a player, man.
Ari, are there any bonuses we should be aware of in this Vikings-Lions game?
I didn't write any bonuses for this game, but I do like Goff over 211.5 passing yards. And I like Chandler under 43.5 rushing yards.
I'm going to plug those in. Chandler under. Interesting. Yeah, he's not been as awesome as I thought he was going to be. The whole time they were giving the ball to Madison. I was yelling about it just like Sean Tucker. Like, the backup is better. Maybe not.
I actually have a lot of over props today. It's kind of interesting. A weird day. A lot of overs.
All right. I like it. Come over to the dark side once in a while. What do you when should we do that? Should we do that? We'll do that at the end like we normally do. All right. Cowboys and Commanders -13 for the Cowboys. Do they cover that, Ari?
This game is kind of dead. Yeah, on the total and on the spread.
We got Broncos, Raiders. We kind of did that one. Chiefs and Chargers we haven't talked about at all. The Chargers favored over the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to be in a hooded sweatshirt for this one. That's also why it's 35.5. What is going on with this game, Cricket? Oh, genius left. Not Cricket. There's a dog.
What happened?
Is this 35 something you're looking to go under, or is this just completely too many X factors? We don't even know who's playing positions in the Chiefs Chargers.
Chiefs Chargers, right? That's what we're talking about. Yeah. This one too, a lot of question marks. I think is it Blaine Gabbert? Ain't that what you told me, Will? Another quarterback I had no idea that was still throwing footballs out
The
there.
Chiefs, yeah, it's Blaine Gabbert.
So you got Blaine Gabbert going against, I guess, the Easton Stick. Sounds like a powerhouse game. Doesn't sound like a whole lot of points right there. I think you probably leave this one alone because it could be something weird where two backup quarterbacks wind up giving up a couple defensive tutties or something, and that could be something that gets you over that number right there. I don't ever like going over on anything under 36.5 right there, really. I just think I leave this one alone, man. Too many question marks. The lines kind of bounce back and forth a little bit, down to 3 again over on DraftKings. I think you just leave this one alone, man, unless you're just bored.
I don't think you'll even see this game on Red Zone.
Probably not much. They won't be in that thing much.
Rams and Niners might be the best game of the day. What? These are two teams who are actually going to give a shit, or do the 49ers not? Because it's only -4.
Does. Nobody gives a shit in this one, right? Nobody can do anything. Nobody can go better or worse.
Oh, so nobody cares about this game either. Interesting.
No, and I think you just got the 49ers backups who are better than the Rams. But when the Rams take Matthew Stafford out of the lineup, they get real bad, man.
I think it's
just
scheme.
Real bad.
I think it's just the Niners scheme because Shanahan's kind of owned McVay. And so it's backups in there, but it's the same running schemes against that McVay's defense, right? So that's kind of the theory. I think that's why we've seen money come in on the Niners.
The under seems to be trending in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it opened up at 44.5, and now it's sitting at 41 on level 4 money. Okay. So that's almost reaching level 5 money. So there's a lot of pro money there, and Vegas is agreeing with the pro money and moving a total under. So I think that the under is trending, and it's something to keep watching for sure. Also, in the Chiefs versus Chargers game, Chris Jones, he has to achieve at least half a sack today and to secure a $1,250,000 bonus.
I'm gonna plug that into my props.
Yeah, he has recent sack successes, and he's facing the Chargers' 25th ranked offensive line. So he's eager to reach his target, absolutely. And even though he might not play the entire game, I mean, he's probably going to be hitting this bonus because this is a huge incentive for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if $1 million doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does. If I was a coach, I'd put
$1.25 million.
Yeah, I put that all in a briefcase and set it out in the locker room. Right next to his locker room.
That's motivating. and Vegas seems to like LA a bit. The spread opened up at +1.5 on the Chiefs, and it's pushed to +3.5. So even though there's level 3 money on the Chiefs, Vegas seems to be moving towards the Chargers. So another one I'd keep my eye on.
Yeah, that's a.
Have you guys talked about the Seahawks Cardinals game?
Nope, was just about to. We got that and the Bills Dolphins left.
Ooh.
It is Seahawks -3 on the road at Arizona, total 47.5. These look like normal game lines. Is this a normal football game?
Let me tell you, I don't have the actual stats in front of me, but just from watching this division for the last, I don't know how many, over a decade, right? It always seems like when these two teams play each other, first of all, you're either getting a shootout, or if it's up in Seattle, you get like a field goal kickoff, like a 12-9 finish between these two. But when one of these teams has something to play for and the other one has nothing to play for, or if the other one's really, really good and the other's just terrible, bottom of the league, the shittier team ends up winning. I don't know why, or the team that has nothing to play for, they end up winning. So it makes me like the Cardinals here catching the 3 because, I mean, Seattle needs to win and have a chance to get into the playoffs. But Arizona, I'm surprised Murray's playing after last week. I thought, he did enough on tape to be like, hey, look, I went in and beat Philadelphia. The only thing that makes me nervous about this, and Beardo made a good point about it on our show, was maybe that was Arizona's Super Bowl. Their coach was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, and now he went in there and he beat them, right? And they just knocked off the 2 seed, and yeah. But at the same time, I kind of think if it was the middle of the season, that'd be one thing. But the fact that there's only one game left, I feel like, okay, maybe this isn't a flat spot. Maybe it's like, okay, we got one more. Let's go out and have some fun. And these two teams, funny things always happen when they play each other. I like the over in this one. I just think we're going to see fireworks because both defenses aren't that great.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And we're playing this thing indoors on carpeting.
And whatever you do, do not fade Bobby Wagner, right, Cricket?
That's right. Don't do that. Don't do that. That man is a tackling machine.
Has been for years.
Absolutely. Like we did one time this year. We're sitting there, I was like, he probably has a tough game tonight, right? Under 9.5 tackles and assists. He had like 15 tackles or something.
Jeez.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
I tried telling him, I go, don't do it, Cricket. Trust me, don't do it.
He did. I give him credit when he tells me something because I'm just like, damn, it was right there in front of me and I couldn't say no.
What do you think about this game, Ari?
I don't have any plays in it. I'm passing.
Completely passing. But what about the fireworks? Now I'm worried about the fireworks.
I will say that on
I just play with how Vegas is playing. I mean, really, that's my strategy.
on Wake Up with TSS Fantasy, they like this as the fantasy game of the day. Like the most points fantasy wise are going to be in this game.
I can see that. Yeah, pretty high total.
There's level 2 money on the under, but Vegas isn't really budging here.
Probably no weather you got to worry about, right? They're indoors anyway, aren't they? They can at least close the roof, and it's probably not going to be bad weather anyway. Probably don't have to worry about any of that. So I don't know, man. There's so many of these games with so many question marks this week. Who's motivated? Who's not? Week 18's so tough.
It is a weird one. One game that we know both teams motivated because they are playing for the division title. And as far as the Bills are concerned, it's their only ticket to the playoffs. They are going to Miami, laying 3 points. Total is 48.5. The Dolphins going to win this game outright, I hope.
It's not their only ticket to the playoffs. They could, if the Jags lose, the Bills would still get in.
I think the Bills are a solid play here.
Yeah.
It opened up at Bills plus 1.5, and then on level 2 money, I mean, it pushed out to -3. It's, the money has started disappearing, but Vegas is holding the line there. So I think it's solid on the Bills today, but I'm passing on the total. I also like Diggs over 5.5 receptions, Kincaid over 3.5 receptions, and Tua under 23.5 completions.
Can you see why she broke the commissioner's heart this morning?
Yep, the Tua shoulder injury. Is that what you're concerned with there? With his completions? Just Tua as a person?
Yeah, I just think that, the numbers looked right for this today, and this is how Vegas is moving. I mean, I know he has an injury, but Vegas already ran the numbers. They already did the calculation for how this game's going to turn out. So I think right here, this is a good prop to play.
Buffalo is a much hotter team right now, too. They feel like they can win playoff games.
And the line seems funny, man.
I don't know if it matters that they're the hotter team right now. I think my bigger worry is that they're the healthier team right now. The Dolphins just have so many of their stars either now on IR or at least out for the week.
Have we heard anything about Waddle? Is he going?
Out.
He's out. See, then I love the Bills.
See, the line, Howard out.
If Jalen Waddle's out, we talked about it all week long on the morning show. Me and Will have, and it's like if Waddle's or Tyreek Hill are out in this game, if either one of them are out, the offense becomes a lot more mellow right there because you can put all your focus on that other big-time receiver. And this line just has looked funny to me all week. I'm sure it has to do with the Waddle questions and all that. But you're sitting there and you got a team that's undefeated at home, hadn't lost a game here all year long, looked pretty good there. And now all of a sudden they're getting points in this thing. And, we watched the Bills just really whip them up in Buffalo. I thought, maybe a bounce-back game for Miami right here. But the more I look at this thing, and with Jalen Waddle out, I think the play's got to be the Bills.
And don't forget –
and Mostert's
Bradley Chubb snapped his leg in half last week. He's on the IR.
Yeah. I don't so much worry about Mostert being out because I do feel like Achane and even Jeff Wilson Jr. are very capable backups right there. I just think the key to this thing is when you take Waddle out or Tyreek Hill, either one, you just can turn all the focus to the other guy right there on defense, put your best guy on him, double team, whatever you got to do. And it's just you haven't seen enough from guys like Durham Smythe and Berrios gets a few catches here and there. But outside of those top two dogs at receiver, you really don't have much other than the running backs.
Listen, if you want somebody to change your mind, again, go watch the end of Wake Up with TSS Fantasy. the commissioner will convince you. He will do his darndest.
That's fair. I might have to watch that after I put my Bills pick in, man, because he might turn me the other way.
You mean to tell me you don't believe in Chase Claypool?
Lay it
You're going to sit here.
You mean Mapletron?
Yeah.
What a waste of a great nickname.
I know. I was so excited about him as a Steelers fan.
Yeah, you know, AK, maybe you can lay it on me why I should have a little more faith, man. But no, Chase Claypool's not really the guy. He said, no, I can't.
No. See, we've started this thing within our show that we started making this sausage dip. When we were in Buffalo from the game, we were up there in Buffalo watching one of our guys, and they haven't lost a game since. So if the sausage dip is in the crock pot, the Dolphins don't stand a chance. That's just how it goes.
That's fair, man. That's
They're
fair.
6-0.
The sausage dip is in the crock pot?
It's not yet. It will be.
It will be, though. Okay,
Yeah.
It will be by game time. All right, Bills is the play.
Now more people are making sausage dip. So if you're a Bills fan,
That's an
Yeah,
airtight
meow.
system.
yeah,
I'm
gonna need you to-
hungry now. I am.
I need you to
That
post that
sounds
recipe.
delicious.
I need you to post a recipe on Twitter and tag us all, man. I need to know
Okay.
that. man.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll lay it out today. It's very
I
simple.
totally believe that.
Cool.
Now, are we going to talk about the best football game of the weekend?
We're
Start it
doing it
off,
right
man.
now. Bills and
No,
Dolphins.
it's Michigan and Washington. That's the best football game of the weekend.
Oh man, yeah! Congrats,
true.
bro! Big win. Got a lot going on this week, man.
I don't know if I want to hear AK's opinion on this.
No, I do. No, I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled that it's Michigan and Washington, and we can
I
get
was
all
hoping
these other.
Michigan and Texas just because I have a friend who's a Texas fan, but
No, we needed this because it proved that if you're 13-0 going into a playoff, you're a better team.
I do like that.
The two one-loss teams lost.
I do. Yeah, everybody said how bad Florida State was against Georgia, and I was just like, you do realize they sat everybody.
I don't care. You lost by 60. We're not getting into all that this morning. It's gonna be a good game on Monday. It's gonna be a real good game. Good luck, sir.
It is. It's going to be. And by the way, Michael Penix that dude is good. He is good.
Oh, yeah.
I liked him as the Heisman winner this year. Before
He got robbed.
He did.
I'm a
robbed.
Coug, and I still say he got robbed.
He did get robbed. But yeah, I think it's about time to start saying Michael Penix can. I mean, we've known it, but this guy has really, really risen up to the occasion in several different spots where I expected him to drop the ball, and he ain't done it yet, man.
No,
he's gonna do it this week.
And he's been tested, dude. Like injuries.
Yes, absolutely, bro.
Played at Indiana, like
4 straight years with
Yes.
season-ending injuries. That would be so hard to come back from mentally, bro.
And that's what I mean. You don't think this dude can get in there and handle? Like he's had to scratch and claw for everything he's got,
Absolutely.
and I love
I
it.
will say if he can dismantle the Michigan defense, I mean his draft stock will skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He might not even be one of those battles. I said a couple weeks ago, throw a little sprinkle on like Jaden Daniels at 25-1 to go number 1 overall, just because you see that weird stuff in the combine where these guys jump up there. Michael Penix might be another one you get some real good odds on. If he does come out and ball out against that Michigan defense, he's gonna turn some heads, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys haven't
Yeah.
even talked about the best game today. Montana Grizz, South Dakota Jackrabbits.
Is that today?
Huh? That's
Yes.
today.
Yeah,
2
lay it on me,
p.m.
AK. I think I love the Jackrabbits, man, but that's a lot of points.
I'm going with the Grizz just because my buddy
you can't go
is a
against
diehard Grizz fan. I'm going with the Grizz.
Dude, what a place to play! Oh my gosh, dude, we played our last game there. That place is cool.
I love that you have all the first-hand experiences from all these places. This is awesome.
That place it was 0 degrees and snowing. It was the semifinals, but dude, South Dakota State's just an absolute shit pumping wagon right now.
Aren't they?
Yes. But I don't know, man. The Grizz have this dude called Bergen or whatever his name is. He's a freak show. I've watched them both play. I haven't looked at the line. I just was disgusted that they put this game at 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I feel like they should have played it tomorrow, like a prelude to the real national championship game. Started at like 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to watch it with all the NFL stuff. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Why are we still kicking off the national championship games at bedtime on a weeknight?
Hey, man, it's even worse for me, man. It's an hour later for me. That damn Washington Texas game didn't get done until about 12:30 my time. I actually made it into the morning show a
That's
little
why
late.
it's beautiful being out here on the West.
I think that they
Time
should
zone.
totally have the last week of the NFL all on Sunday, no games on Saturday, and give Saturday to the national championship. I mean, that's You watch college football on Saturdays. Make the national championship on Saturdays. Stick the NFL on Sunday.
I spent all New Year's Day thinking it was Saturday. It was totally a Monday.
How do you guys feel about this super wild card weekend coming up? I don't know how I like the 2 games, 4 games, 1 game. That seems weird. It seems just like.
Do we always have one of these games on a Monday night?
We didn't before. I think they started that last year or the year before.
Yeah, they started.
Yeah, that's
years
a new
ago.
thing.
Okay,
I love it because you get showdowns and you get 2 and 3 game slates, and those are the funnest to play. I love playing those.
I like showdowns, man. I like that showdown captain's mode.
So from DraftKings,
I'm just if your team is playing on a Monday, like if you're a fan of a team and you're playing on that Monday, you're at such a disadvantage going into the next round.
True,
especially if you're on the road.
That's why I was thinking we didn't do it, man. I was like, they normally don't give people short rest this time of year.
I don't know,
you
man.
could end up playing a Monday and then a Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Surely they wouldn't do that to somebody. Surely. I mean, that would definitely be an advantage for the team.
Yeah, I think they would guarantee that if you played that Monday, you're playing Sunday.
Yeah.
I thought the AI robots were going to optimize all this.
Look,
we weren't going to have these issues.
It's all about players' safety and health. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's all.
They'll tell you that.
Yep, they'll tell you that with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some sneaky DFS plays for this week, AK? You are the expert.
How we gonna win that millie, AK?
You got it. I didn't win it yesterday. That was a trap. I'm saving up all the money I want. I'm going to dump into the Sunday night showdown tonight. While we're just because I mean, why not? Last game of the year, can't hold anything back.
Yeah, man. They won't let you cash that stuff out. It'll spoil on you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So DFS wise, you have a lot of dudes that have incentives, namely DeAndre Hopkins. But we know that Tannehill likes Chig. So
he does.
There's an absolute conflict of interest there. Will he throw the ball all against his will? Well, no pun intended, Will Levis. Always intended. And then you have Nick Mullins is going to be hot. Another one that has a sneaky, I can't remember who else it was. We were talking about it this morning, who has incentives. DeAndre Hopkins is a big one. Baker's a big one.
Mixon has an incentive for 2 more touchdowns.
There you go. Jordan Love has incentives. So it's really about finding all those little pieces of information that you can. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So if you're looking at game script, I mean, the ones that actually have something to play for, like the Vikings, they're playing. Who are they playing?
They play the Lions.
Okay,
but
so that's
we don't really know what Lions team we're getting there.
Yeah,
they tell you it's going to be the normal one, but you don't know.
Eckler needs 110 total yards. Tyreek needs a big game, but that's tonight. Geno has incentives. Singletary had his yesterday. Alex Madison could be one. He has 124 rush yards. That'll get him a bonus, pretty big bonus. And so those are kind of the main ones.
I almost feel like some of those guys like Eckler and Madison, guys that I kind of feel like their time's almost done with this team. I think you almost look at their unders. I don't feel like they want to sink any more money into these guys than they already have.
True.
Ooh, there could be an injury guarantee they're trying to avoid.
Just saying. Or you just say, hey, man, don't give him those last 3 carries to get that bonus. Or don't throw him the ball if he needs one more catch. So that we have nothing to play for. We're done with this guy. We're ready to get him out of here. And I don't want to give him a check to leave out the door with.
That's an interesting take. Because I thought the complete opposite. I'm like, they're going to feed him. But if they're trying to save money, they're not going to feed him.
And I feel like Eckler's done in LA. I feel like they've showed us that. I know he's been banged up this year, but even when the times he was supposed to have been healthy, they haven't utilized him the way I thought they would. And I know it has a lot to do with the way their season's gone, but I just feel like that's a guy that's really aging, and running backs age in dog years. Y'all know that, man. So I feel like this guy's toward the back end of it.
Can we just
before we
go ahead.
I want to get Ari's opinion on the national championship game before we leave that completely in the rear view.
Oh,
Washington,
okay.
Michigan.
I'm rooting for Michigan personally. But, I haven't really been following college football and like betting on it. As you've seen from my TikToks, I've been more into college basketball. So, personally, I don't have much of a horse in this race, but I do personally like Michigan.
It's a Harbistan. What about Chase Claypool, AK? Do I plug Chase Claypool into my DraftKings lineup? I know you mentioned him earlier, and I was looking at it myself this morning. Like, if he ever has a game It could
if
be
he ever
today.
has a game. I mean, but I've said that about a dozen times before. But I don't. What's he priced? He's priced at. I haven't really done all my.
He's got to be
mean, he's-
down there.
He is he's at 200. I mean, if you're going to play like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, that is 100%. Or you could go with Robbie Anderson with an I.
Ooh. Wait, he's spelling chosen with an I?
I don't know. I've
This
lost count.
guy, he's on like his
But-
fifth name. So
Yes, Claypool for sure. I know he was targeted on a deep ball, but I
Cricket,
don't know
why am I
what
sitting
he
here
was.
every single morning, all morning long? I'm looking at this all week. I liked the Panthers, and now I'm looking at it, and I like the Bucks. I don't know why.
because Baker
Explain it to
Mayfield.
me. I think they're going to blow them out now. I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, what are we doing? But I could totally see him shit in the bed too. God,
I'm just
Well, Baker's got a rib thing, don't he?
He's got a huge bonus at stake too.
Yeah,
Like $2
Baker's
million.
got kind of a football thing. Like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's just not. And I don't feel good about this spot, bro. Nothing will make me happier. I'm going to bet the Panthers just to try to reverse psychology it. I've made my mind up.
I like it. I like that. I like that.
Then
I'm
you
sitting here
win
trying to find, I'm
either
trying to
way,
find my
right?
last pick, dude. I'm trying to find my last pick. I'm going. So I won the 2 yesterday. I'm going with the Bengals because of the point value. It's at -6. I'm gambling on the Jags. I'm gambling with the Jags. I'm going to lay it with the Jags. If Lawrence is playing, I'm rolling with the Jags in this one.
5.5?
A little contrarian there. At 5.5, I don't care because I know some people on here are going to be taking Tennessee plus 5.5. So I'm going to gamble there. Now my 5th pick, I'm going back and forth. I'm looking at the Jets. I don't know why I like the Jets at plus 2.5. I'm looking at the Bucks -5.5.
You're going to reverse psychology that one for the wrong reason, man. You're going to get a worse draft pick.
I've liked the Commanders all week. I've liked the Giants all week. I can't make up my mind.
Commanders, do it.
That's the one.
I know it looks too easy though, man. It looks too easy.
I like the Giants might be a move too.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a big upset, but I think that's
feel like
also a move.
whatever those last 3 picks are, I feel like you should be taking points on all 3 of them. Like it's going to be a day for
I'm
the
laying
dogs.
2 with the first 2.
Yep.
So I'm saying you already got those out of the way. Now get your ones where you get your points now because I think the dogs are going to be barking today.
Just
We'll see, man. We'll see.
go in the post. Just give it to the big man. Take the layup.
That's right. make the bunnies, man. I had a coach.
right.
You got to make the bunnies, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Those all count the same. I am not seeing Chris. I see why Underdog is kicking the shit out of everybody else. There's another app, we'll call it Napper, that offers these over and unders, and they don't even have the Kansas City game on here.
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Big old blizzard game up in in the Jets and the Patriots. It's supposed to be
That's
an
why I
absolute.
like taking the points with the Jets.
Yes.
It could just go either way, you know?
That's why I
Yeah.
took the Jets defense for my DFS lineup.
Good
That's
call.
probably solid. Yeah. That'll be both of those defenses. I've never.
We know
seen
Zabby's
NFL
good for
throw
at least 1 pick 6, fumble 6, maybe both.
This looks like an
Yep.
Iowa under right here.
Yeah, the under looks good in the Jets Patriots game.
I'm like,
I mean, under 30, it's a tough one to play, but it is rainy, it's windy, and I mean, they have good defenses. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a low scoring game.
I'm like, if you get me, you just get me in that one. Good game. If you the only thing when that one gets over is if it like squeaks into overtime somehow or something weird.
Dude, if it squeaks in the overtime, it's because it's like 3-3.
It'll be like, bro, it'll
Tie.
probably be like 13-13, and then somebody will score the first touchdown to win the game outright
Over-
right there. Or something.
Over under 4.5 times red zone shows the Patriot game.
Oh,
Not
under.
counting the beginning of showing the snowstorm.
Not counting the first one.
From
I think-
kickoff. From kickoff.
Whoa,
Yep.
Alvin Kamara's out.
He is
Is
out.
he officially out? I saw that he was
Yeah.
questionable.
Let's see what that line's done since then. If it's done anything, it looks like it's still sitting
Hey,
on 3
Steve-
right now.
Little Derek Carr in your DFS lineup against the
Ooh.
Falcons,
I can't trust Derek Carr to do anything right.
Yeah, and I
Which means-
like the Falcons defense.
which means he will throw for 4 touchdowns.
You're right. You're right.
You want some? Come get some, baby.
You've been
Yep. Hey, he won a
You've been
fantasy
preaching that guy for a
championship
couple
for me last week.
Yeah, dude. Who? Jawan Johnson?
yeah.
Yeah, dude. When he plays, they're a different offense. I don't know what it is.
I feel like there's
23
always
points.
a guy you throw out there or whatever, so I'm kind of sneakily watching for this guy. And I feel like a couple weeks ago you said that, and sure as shit, first time I turned that game on, that guy was scoring a touchdown or something.
He said 2. So
Love it.
Yeah, he's solid.
Eric had it also. What he thrives in Juwan on one coverage. Is that what you said?
He really ate up that one Juwan coverage.
That's what it was.
One Juwan.
Oh. Anyway,
I come in here just for the nicknames, man.
And that is our NFL slate. So, Will, have you decided on your last pick?
Even if I did, we have how much time till kickoff? I'm going to change it at least 10 more times.
Oh yeah, you still got 2.5 hours almost for sure.
that's how you cook it evenly. You flip it, you flop it. Back in the
I'm thinking about
day.
making 2 picks in the morning games and then like saving one for the afternoon to see how these 2 go. Just
You're gonna wind up changing winners, man.
It's
All
okay,
right.
dude. It's okay.
It's gonna
make for great content Monday morning, no matter what.
Facts.
Exactly.
All right,
Ari,
so I
let's
got
go through your
lineup
props.
set up.
Okay, time for some props. Starting with the Bucks versus the Panthers. I like Chris Godwin over 4.5 receptions. I have a lot of overs in this game. I joined the dark side. I like Shad Wright over 21.5 receiving yards. Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns and over 232.5 passing and rushing yards.
Love the faith in Baker.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a lot to play for today. Plus, just looking at some of the numbers, Mayfield could get an extra 300,000 for each of the following categories: passing yards, completion percentage, passer rating, touchdown passes, and yards per attempt if he ranks within the top 5 or top 10 of either the NFC or the entire NFL. So this could amount to $1.5 million is what this could amount to.
And don't forget about the millions it adds on to his contract he's potentially going to sign this offseason, right?
Yep.
Exactly. This is an extra $1.5 million resting on this game. I mean, and considering his average performance, he's likely to meet these benchmarks. I mean, he's currently 7th in the NFC and 13th in the NFL.
Ooh.
So I also suggest like betting on Mayfield's passing statistics once they become available. I would highly recommend that today.
Yep. He's going to have them ribs numbed up. He won't even know there's something cracked down there.
That means if you're playing DFS, you're going to want to look at Godwin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had Godwin over 4.5 receptions on there.
And a potential Kate Otten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kate Otten touchdown is always a fun one.
Yes, it is.
Until they don't target him at all.
I'm going with the hotter tight end right now, Tucker Kraft.
I like Tucker Kraft, man.
Yep. We're becoming a bit of a tight end factory up here. I like it.
Man, I'm telling you. What is the other guy? Is it Musgrave? Is that the other one?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You get both those guys healthy, man. That's a solid little 1-2 punch at tight end right there.
Yep. Yep. Neither one of them is a murderer, so we got that going for us. We could probably keep both of them for an extended period of time.
I'll tell you this right now. Johnny Munt for the Vikings was a guy that I played in the showdown the other day, and he was targeted a gazillion times.
Got a tutty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Munt is somebody, if you're looking at tight ends on DraftKings or DFS,
That's Munt without
they use
TD.
their tight ends a lot, and with Hawkins now.
That's right. What a great one. What did you say there, David? I'm sorry. I was listening to the Munt without TD part.
I said Munt with they like their tight ends there, and Hawkinson's out. So
yeah, I feel like it's one of those offenses you can kind of plug. You got a guy that's an athletic guy, can catch the football and run with the football after catch. It's a guy that kind of plug in there, and you really make him successful just by the way that offense runs through the tight end.
Yep.
In this game, I like Chandler under 43.5 rushing yards. I mean, And
He's
Goff,
definitely going to have less than 43 passing yards.
like rushing yards. And I also like Goff over 211.5 passing yards. So another over and an under.
I can't wait till they go for a halfback pass for like a 45-yard touchdown pass today.
Oh my god!
Like, damn it, we
Just
should have locked
because
it in.
Eric said that on Wake and Rake.
Yep.
Yeah, just because.
Did you guys mention how Texas kind of got screwed because they let Washington activate Pac-12 after dark mode when the game went past midnight?
That's true. That's true. That's kind of unfair.
That was a bamboozling of a schedule there. Texas should have boycotted that from the get-go.
You know, it was so funny. You had the game being played in California start at like 5, and the game being played in New Orleans start at 8:50 at night or whatever. I'm like, this is backwards.
Texas
Highly
was
logical.
Start.
I gotta head out. This was fun.
Yep.
Good luck, everyone. Tune in tomorrow to see how terrible my day went with these picks. So trying to finish top 5 in this thing. Maybe even
Good
top
vibes,
3.
man.
We'll
I
see.
need a little
Would
bit of
be
confidence
awesome.
out of you there. Don't expect the losers. Have a little bit of confidence today, man.
Exactly.
I wish I could drop. Well, I'm the best there is right now, but I can't. So that's what I would have dropped.
Fair enough. Good luck today, sir. Be safe.
Later, everyone.
See you.
Later, Will. Yeah. Let's all get the hell out of here. We got all kinds of stuff to do.
We gonna
You
throw
can
out
find-
one?
You can find AK on the Millie Goats podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts, or on the YouTube. You guys do live shows too.
Tonight
Cricket
we're
is-
going to do a live show with Bill. J-Vi's a Bills fan, so we're going to be watching the game live.
Ooh,
David, if you
perfect.
got a lineup for him, man, throw a lineup for him.
I got one, and I kind of want to hear everybody else's. I like hearing you guys' input on these. So I got a lot of people with the incentives. I have Jordan Love at quarterback. I have Mixon and James Conner at running back.
Oh,
I got Mike Evans, Hopkins, and Terry McLaurin. He's like a cowboy killer. He does well against the Cowboys every game. So I have them at wide receiver. I already said I have Tucker Kraft and the Jets, and then I have Tyjae Spears in the flex.
Ooh. I love the James Conner. James Conner's just a touchdown machine. That's
And you saw what the Steelers have been rushing well, but you saw what they did to Seattle, and the last 3 teams have done that to Seattle. So
I like that.
Yeah. Mixon has a lot of motivation to play today, so I like that.
The only thing would be maybe, if you're expecting Jordan Love to go off, then you would assume the Bears might go off as well. So you would consider maybe a DJ Moore in there, or maybe even a Cole Kmet. Because if you're expecting that to be the game of the day, then there's going to be a lot of points. That would be.
Is Kmet playing?
I don't know. I haven't. I dive into my lineups about an hour and a half because that's when I know who's in and who's out.
Yeah, I like to do it at 11:30. I put it in early, but I double check it later on to see who's playing and who's not.
But DJ Moore is somebody he's priced a reasonable 7,000. And if Justin Fields goes, he goes. So that would be the only tinkering I would do with that. Is maybe look at a bring back. But or not. You can win the millie, dude. Let's go.
I got to go super cheap on running backs. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do Roshan Johnson. So I see Khalil Herbert is questionable. Ooh, Patrick Taylor. That's the move because A.J. Dillon is out.
There you go.
And Aaron Jones just expended a lot of calories last game.
That dude from the Bengals, too, Chase Brown. Wait, no, Mixon. Never mind.
I can't stand Chase Brown right now. I had that dude in so many leagues as like a late round. I figured he'd take Mixon's job by the end of the season. Then he was a healthy or a scratch every single week for like the first 12 weeks of the season. I finally dropped him off all my teams, and then they start playing him.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I got a pretty gross one here for y'all, man. I just threw this thing together. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields at quarterback, Kenneth Walker III at running back, Derrick Henry at running back, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, and more than a Thielen for wide receiver.
There we go.
Tight end Bellinger, man. I'm gonna go with Bellinger at tight end.
Okay.
I think the Giants are gonna be in that game today. I think it'd be a sneaky little play right there. Might find him a tutty. I'm going to put Ronnie Bell in a flex right there because, a lot of those big weapons are going to be out for the 49ers. I think Ronnie Bell going to get some touches today. I'm going to go with the Raiders defense against that pretty bad Denver Broncos offense right there, playing everybody playing for Antonio Pierce. So I'm going to go with the Raiders defense right there.
I love the Raiders. That's a good.
I love Max Crosby, man.
Dude, freak show.
Did y'all see that little clip they got of Gardner Minshew talking about Mac when they were playing? Like he said on the sidelines during the game.
You're a little man or something.
Yeah, little ass boy. He said, man, Crosby's so angry, bro. He's out there calling everybody little ass boys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm little out here, but I'm not little all the time.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with Gardner Minshew straight up, man. I think I look
awesome. Pierre Strong for Cleveland, 4K.
That's a good sneaky little one right there too, man. No, Jerome Ford's not getting out there today, right?
I would him or Kareem Hunt probably won't play a lot. So Pierre Strong.
Jerome Ford was also. Has an injury coming in, so they probably won't play him at all.
Oh, yeah, they're not playing him at all. Stefanski said anybody wasn't going to play. So if you got any kind of injury designation, you're definitely not getting on the field.
I know Amari Cooper's out. I know Flacco's out. I know Myles Garrett is out. They're not playing any of those three.
Pierre Strong, Jaleel McLaughlin.
You'll probably see. Ooh, that's a good sneaky little one there.
Mm-hmm.
The safest bet's probably that you will see more people on the Browns team today that you have no idea they were in the league than any other team out there.
Pierre Strong and sexual Jaleeling.
All right. Now I got to get a different defense in so the Jaleeling can begin.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I need to start writing these down for fantasy football names next year. I'm not a believer.
Defense?
I'm just not a believer you have to have the guy on the team to use a great name like that.
Absolutely not.
Bengals. No, you don't have to have. No, you just have to think of it. You don't need the guy on the team.
Absolutely not.
All right.
I was going to say Denver, the Chargers.
Chargers the ugliest lineup you've ever seen.
Tell us, man. I like the ugly ones. Those are the winners.
Sam Howell, Kenny Gainwell, Jaleel McLaughlin, and then here's where we spent all the money. A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Dan Bellinger, Chris Godwin, Bengals.
Man, little Sam Howell,
I love it.
Terry stack right there.
I love
That's
it.
sneaky.
Yep. Stole that from David. He gave me that little piece of knowledge just as I was.
God, that feels like the winner. I feel like the lineups I looked at win are just the grossest things. I'm like, why'd you even think of this?
I don't know if he has a contract thing, but I think he needs like 54 more yards or something to hit 1,000 for X amount in a row. Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. Oh, McLaurin. He's probably gonna have a big game today.
He always does against Dallas. That he performed solidly against them for whatever reason.
I would be very surprised if he was not the top fantasy scorer for the Commanders. Don't call me Redskins today.
Oh shit! 9:53 in the Central Time Zone. We got to get out of here. Ari, tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on my TikTok. I post all of my plays before the game. It's at Ariel Calista, ARIELCALISTA. My website, arielcalista.com. Make sure to sign up for my free daily emails where I go over across multiple sports, what the Sharps are doing, what the Squares are doing, and also how Las Vegas is reacting. And it's free every day. Plus, you also see a new picture of me, so it's a lot of fun. And it's free. So make sure to sign up in a stay in touch box at arielcalista.com and come see me on TikTok.
I've yet to be charged for those emails. AK, what time is your live show tonight? Where can people find that?
9:30. I think Fantasy Sports Corporation, YouTube, the Twitter, all that stuff. We're gonna be I don't know that we could eat sausage dip live on the air, so we're probably just gonna be drinking it out of a cup, just for the acoustics. So if you like sausage dip chugging, come find us 9:30 p.m. It probably starts around halftime, so we'll get the second half in there, and then follow us on at Millie Goats everywhere you can find your stuff.
Perfect. Genius, what are you up to today? No start sit show, I suppose.
No start sit show. I do still have the football cards on Facebook, Genesis Card Breaks, and then I just accepted a spot to help start producing and doing some shows for Toilets to Titles.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like that.
Talking about.
Cricket, tell us about sportspicks.cricket.winners.com.
My favorite part of the day.
For the best value in sports handicapping, come check us out over at sportspicks.locals.com. Got the great Robert Barnes making the official picks. Finally took an L in those college football playoffs. So we're going to try to right that ship. You get over there, sign up right now. Use the promo code GAMEON with a capital G and get 40% off of your annual subscription. Over a $200 value. Come sign up with us through the end of the month. You can use that promo code. But sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.